Last week we stayed at Oak Mountain State Park outside of Birmingham, Alabama. We explored a couple of trails and enjoyed the nature there. We also ate some excellent cheeseburgers at Back 40 Brewing Company and explored a few sites in Birmingham, such as Vulcan Park, Sloss Furnaces, and Barber Motorsports Park and Museum. It was an exciting week in Birmingham, but we are looking forward to a quiet, relaxing week in Demopolis, Alabama. We stayed at Foscue Creek Park, an Army Corps of Engineers campground on the Black Warrior River. It is just down the river from the Demopolis Lock and Dam. Foscue Creek Park was a nice, well-maintained campground in a quiet part of western Alabama. Many of the campsites here have full hookups. We stayed in Site 15, which did not have a sewer hookup, but that's not a requirement for us anyway. We loved this site because it kind of sat by itself. Just look at all this room we had around us. And we had a little view of the water and the boat ramp. We enjoyed watching birds and even had a fire a couple of nights. One day we watched the workers perform a prescribed burn. In addition to camping, Foscue Creek Park offers picnic areas, a couple of pavilions, a boat ramp, and a playground. There is also a walking trail that meanders around the park and the surrounding water. We spent a few evenings walking the dogs along this trail, admiring the nice picnicking spots that were hidden along the way. We saw some turtles taking it easy on a log. There are also some gymnastics equipment placed around the Foscue Creek Trail. On Tuesday, we had some high winds blow in with possible severe weather and 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts predicted in the evening.
So it's getting pretty windy here in Alabama. We've actually already put away a good amount of the things we usually have outside, like our bikes. They're back into the truck, strapped down and everything, so we shouldn't have an issue with them. We also got rid of our tent. We put that in the back. We got rid of the tire covers, all that stored away for safekeeping. So if there is an issue, we can hopefully hurry up and just make it to safety and know that everything here is tied down and ready to go.
We also filled up our fresh water tank to add extra weight to the camper, in case the wind wanted to knock us over. We made sure we knew where to shelter in case of a tornado, in which case it was the bathroom and laundry building just across from our site. We watched the storm blow in and the wind rip through the campground. We were a little worried about the tree in our campsite causing damage, but we ended up being all right. The next day we walked along the trail and did see some storm damage. We know we were lucky that we came out of a windstorm and a tornado watch unscathed. On Wednesday we drove into town to grab some dinner at a highly recommended place. A Slab More serves up some delicious barbecue in Demopolis. I had to try the ribs, so I ordered a half slab with coleslaw and potato salad. The ribs were so good. Keisha ordered pulled pork barbecue fries, which were also pretty good. The next couple of days, we just hung out at the campground. We walked the dogs along the Foscue Creek Trail and sat by the fire both nights, just enjoying the quiet beauty of the area. Saturday morning, we went for a drive to the nearby town of Greensboro. We had heard that a cafe in town called The Stable had some excellent pie, so we wanted to try some. We got to Greensboro and walked into The Stable and were disappointed to find out that they no longer served pie. Well, we ordered some breakfast anyway. Keisha went the healthy route, ordering avocado toast with some grilled chicken. I could not pass up the waffle breakfast sandwich, which had ham, egg, and cheese sandwiched between a quartered Belgian waffle. The avocado toast was pretty good, but this waffle sandwich dipped in maple syrup was really hitting the spot. After eating at the stable, we drove around Greensboro a bit and found out it is the catfish capital of Alabama. We saw some catfish farms on our way back to Demopolis, and we passed by this field full of cool hay bale art on the way back. Demopolis is home to a couple of plantation mansions. There's Bluff Hall, that sits next to the Black Warrior River, and there is Gaineswood, that sits right in the heart of the town. We decided to visit Gaineswood and learned a little more about the house and the man who designed it. It costs $10 per adult to tour the Gaineswood Mansion. We had an excellent tour guide who took us and another couple around the entire house, providing great information on the original owner that designed the house, the types of architecture inside and outside of the house, and the ongoing renovation being done on the house. Gaineswood started out as a simple dog trot cabin in 1843, and over the next 18 years, General Nathan Bryan Whitfield designed and transformed the small cabin into the large Greek revival home it is today. General Whitfield moved his family from North Carolina to Demopolis, Alabama, and purchased the small cabin from George Strother Gaines. Over the years, Mr. Whitfield designed additions to the house and managed the 1,200-acre plantation at Gaineswood. The house was built mostly by enslaved laborers, whom were very skilled craftsmen. It was completed in 1861, on the eve of the Civil War. General Whitfield sold the house to his son, Dr. Brian Watkins Whitfield. He and his wife, Mary Foscue Whitfield, used Gaineswood as a residence until it was sold in 1923. Gaineswood was purchased by the state of Alabama in 1966 to be used as a house museum and has been a National Historic Landmark since 1974. Gaineswood has a lot of interesting architecture and interior design choices. We love the columns inside and outside of the home. This is one of only a few Greek revival houses in the United States that uses all three forms of ancient Greek architecture: Doric, Ionic, and Corinthian. These domes in the dining room and library are large and elaborate, and are used not only for decoration, but to let in sunlight. Overall, this was a pretty neat house to see in person. And while it is currently undergoing renovations, what we were able to see of the house was beautiful. For dinner, we ate at River City Soul in Demopolis. This was a nice restaurant that had some jazz music playing in the background, and they served up some wonderful food. Keisha ordered the salmon with a baked potato and mixed vegetables, and I ordered the fried catfish that came with French fries. Everything here was delicious. We had a nice, relaxing week here at Foscue Creek Park in Demopolis, Alabama. It was nice to have a quiet week where we didn't feel like we had to run around too much. We enjoyed hanging out at the campground and learned a lot walking through the old Gaineswood Mansion in Demopolis. Next week we will be back in Mississippi, so stay tuned. Hope you enjoyed.